Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Valerie, and I'm a children's librarian here at Hoboken Public Library. I'm here with our friend Miss Jade, our literacy lady, who has a very special story time planned for us today. She's going to read us some stories about Kwanzaa and teach us about the meaning of the holiday and its principles. We are so excited. Hello, Jade.
Hi, Miss Val. Thank you so much for having me today. And hello, families. I'm happy. My name is Jade, the literacy lady, and I'm here to share with you the meaning of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a winter celebration spread over 7 days and 7 nights that are rooted in values of African culture and community celebration. I'm going to start with our first story, My First Kwanzaa by Karen Katz, which is going to teach you a little bit of what each night means and how if it's your first time celebrating Kwanzaa, you could participate with your own family. So let's get started. My first Kwanzaa. Hooray, hooray. It's time to get ready for Kwanzaa. First, we get the kinara. It's made of shiny wood. I put in 7 candles, 3 red, 1 black, and 3 green. We light a candle every night to celebrate a special idea. There she is, getting her kinara together. Mommy brings the kikombe, the unity cup. For each child, we place 1 ear of corn, called the muhimbi, on a straw mat. My brother adds apples, yams, nuts, and squash. The fruits and vegetables, mazao, remind us of the end and the beginning of the planting season. Just like in Africa. See everybody there? The first night is Umoja, which represents unity. On the first day of Kwanzaa, neighbors come to visit. We ask, habari gani? Habari gani? That means, what's the news? Or what's happening? We laugh and talk and sing. We are all friends and family. What are ways you greet your family during the holiday season? See if you could say this word with me. Day 2, kujichagulia. Ready? Kujichagulia, which represents self-determination. On the second day of Kwanzaa, I asked mommy to braid my hair in a fancy African way. It makes me feel proud. See that hair? She looks good. Principle 3, Ujima, which represents working together. On the third day of Kwanzaa, we plant flowers in the lot next door. We all work together to make our neighborhood pretty. What is something you could do with your family this holiday season that represents working together? Principle 4, Ujama. This represents helping our neighborhood grow. On the fourth day of Kwanzaa, we buy special food for our celebration, and we like to shop in neighborhood stores to keep our businesses strong. See that? What is one way you think you and your family can help your neighborhood grow? Next, we have Nia, which represents purpose. On the fifth day of Kwanzaa, I dream of what I can be. Someday, I will be an African dancer, just like my Aunt Tasha. Look at them go. Next we have kuumba. Kuumba. This represents creativity. On the 6th day of Kwanzaa, my cousin and I paint a clay pot and weave some baskets. We will make our house beautiful too. There's a lot of good holiday activities going on. What are some things you could do to be creative with your loved ones at home? And on the last principle, we have Imani. Imani, which represents faith. On the 7th day of Kwanzaa, we light the last candle to show our faith in ourselves, our family, our future, and our past. You see, they have all the candles lit down there. Grandma gives us zawadi, which are gifts for promises we have kept all year. A handmade doll for me and an African shaker gourd for my brother. At last, it is time for the feast. We call it karamu. Karamu. Friends come over and everyone cooks delicious African food. The house smells so good. Spicy chicken and sweet yams. We all take a sip from the unity cup and share our wonderful meal. Look how good everything looks. Wonderful. Then we sing, we dance, play music, and celebrate. Happy Kwanzaa. So with some of the principles you've learned, see how with your family, whether you're at home or you're visiting or you'll be seeing people online, how can you incorporate the 7 values that represent what you all can do to celebrate Kwanzaa or community with the people you love. So that's story 1. Our next story talks about creating more of those values around people and things that matter to us most. This next story is Little Rabbit's Kwanzaa by Donna L. Washington. Get a little closer for you. Okay. Little Rabbit was not having a very good Kwanzaa. Being the littlest rabbit in the family wasn't easy. He couldn't remember the names of all the days. He wasn't allowed to light any of the candles yet. His brothers and sisters made wonderful gifts to share, but Little Rabbit was too embarrassed to share the gifts he made. He hated being the youngest rabbit. He was always in the way, and everyone told him he was too little to help. The only part of Kwanzaa that he really loved was the big feast called Karamu. This year, he wasn't even going to have that. Grandma Rabbit was sick. She lay in bed all day drinking dandelion tea. Mama Rabbit was so busy taking care of her, she didn't even have time to cook. Poor Grandma Rabbit. Get some more light. Mama, if Grandma Rabbit is sick, who will make the feast for Karamu? Little Rabbit asked his mother. Shame on you, Little Rabbit, his mama said. Grandma Rabbit is sick and all you can think about is your stomach. You go outside. Little Rabbit hopped out and sat on the big gnarled tree stump. He really wanted to go and talk to Grandma Rabbit. She was very wise. Little Rabbit sat and thought. He thought about all the things his grandma said about Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a special time when we help each other. That's what Grandma Rabbit said. Sitting there thinking about what's important. That's it, Little Rabbit said, and he jumped up and danced around. I'll bring Grandma Rabbit a special treat for Karamu. That'll make her feel better. Ooh. Little Rabbit hopped down the road. Where are you going so fast? Mama Oriole asked Little Rabbit. I'm going to find a tasty treat for Grandma. She's sick, and I want her to have a good Karamu. Little Rabbit hopped away. Mama Oriole didn't know what Karamu was, but she knew Grandma Rabbit. Grandma Rabbit always brought out warm seed cakes and warm pudding when the weather got cold. Poor Grandma Rabbit, Mama Oriole said. I wish there was something I could do to help. Little Rabbit stopped by the side of the path. He looked under some logs to see if he could find something special for Grandma Rabbit. What are you doing, Little Rabbit? Asked Groundhog, sticking his head out of the patch of grass. I'm trying to find a zawadi for Grandma Rabbit. She's sick and I want her to feel better. Little Rabbit hopped off. Groundhog didn't really know what zawadi was, but he knew Grandma Rabbit. She always had time to make little toys for the animals when they were bored. Poor Grandma Rabbit, said Groundhog. I wish there was something I could do to help. Look at all his tools. Little Rabbit hopped down to the lily pond. Maybe he could find something pretty for Grandma Rabbit. What are you doing, Little Rabbit? Asked the frogs. I'm looking for something pretty for Grandma Rabbit. She's sick. She should have something pretty to hang on the wall at Kwanzaa time. Little Rabbit scratched an ear and hopped away. The frogs didn't know anything about Kwanzaa time, but they knew Grandma Rabbit. She could paint beautiful pictures and write wonderful poems. Poor Grandma Rabbit, said one of the frogs. I wish there was something we could do to help. All thinking. Little Rabbit hopped through the field looking for berries. Where are you going, Little Rabbit? Mama Field Mouse asked. She was dragging all of her children behind her. Grandma Rabbit is sick, said Little Rabbit. I'm going to make sure she has a good karamu. I'm going to find as many berries as I can, Little Rabbit said, and I'm going to look around. He hopped and walked through the meadow. Try to get it a little closer. Mama Phil didn't know anything about karamu, but she knew Grandma Rabbit too. Grandma Rabbit helped with the children when Mama Field Mouse had to run errands. Poor Grandma Rabbit, said Mama Field Mouse. I wish there was something I could do to help. Little Rabbit scampered through the trees. Good morning, Little Rabbit, said Papa Squirrel. Why are you sniffing around the trees? I'm looking for something to give Grandma Rabbit. She's sick. I want her to have a good Kwanzaa. Little Rabbit hopped away. Papa Squirrel didn't know anything about Kwanzaa either, but he knew Grandma Rabbit. She always helped him gather nuts in the fall. She even helped him remember where he'd hid them. Poor Grandma Rabbit, said Papa Squirrel. I wish there was something I could do to help. Little Rabbit spent the whole day trying to find something for Grandma Rabbit. He searched as hard as he could, but he couldn't find anything at all. He was very sad. I guess I'm too little to do anything, he said. As the sun was setting, he hopped slowly home. When he opened the door, he had a big surprise. Everyone was there. Everybody was there. Look at everybody. Everyone was there. Grandma Rabbit was sitting in the big chair with a huge smile on her face. You see her? There she is. The frogs had brought pink flowers from the lily pads. Mama and Papa Spider hung them from the ceiling like lanterns. Mama Oriole was conducting a fine chorus of birds. Groundhog brought little toys and gifts from everyone. Mama Field Mouse had gotten together with Mama Possum and Mama Raccoon and served the plates, and Little Rabbit ate until he thought he would burst. They're all having a little feast. Let's take our time and look at it. So we see Grandma Rabbit here, and they're serving her. You see all Little Rabbit's other friends preparing a feast. Looks really good. There go the birds singing a song. After that, Papa Rabbit told funny stories about Br'er Rabbit, Anansi the spider, guinea fowl, and mosquito. The stories made everyone laugh. Then Papa Spider plucked on his web strings. Cricket got out his fiddle, and all the animals had a wonderful day. See that? Grandma Rabbit taught everyone a new word. Harambe, she called out as her friends danced. It means, let's pull together. We don't need anyone to tell us to do that, Papa Squirrel said. We are already pulled together. Everyone laughed and shouted, Harambe, Harambe, Harambe. Everyone's having a great time. When the karamu was over, Little Rabbit sat with his grandma in the big chair. Why are you so sad, Little Rabbit? His grandma asked. Didn't you have a good time? Yes, Little Rabbit said quietly, but I wanted to do something special for you. Grandma Rabbit just laughed. You silly rabbit, she said, hugging Little Rabbit tight. If you hadn't gone off looking for the karamu this morning, it never would have found its way here tonight. She's so happy. Little Rabbit frowned. But I'm the only one who didn't have anything to share, he said. His grandma smiled. You shared your dream, Little Rabbit, and your dream brought all of our friends and neighbors together, and that's a big thing. Little Rabbit felt proud. My dream did all that? Yes, Grandma Rabbit said. I'm not surprised, though. Why not? Little Rabbit asked. Because I have faith in you. If you have faith, Little Rabbit, there's always hope. Oh, I'll try to remember that, said Little Rabbit, yawning. By the way, said Grandma Rabbit, snuggling him close, this was the best karamu ever. So with your family, as we read in My First Kwanzaa, all of these books, which you can find, right, at the Hoboken Library, shares all of the principles with activities you can do at home with your loved ones. So I hope you enjoyed Little Rabbit and my first Kwanzaa. And I hope you learned a couple things that you can do with your loved ones to celebrate the principles, share community, and show love for others. I had a really great time reading these with you. Ms. Val, I hope you did too.
Yes, Jade, thank you so much for reading to us today. Those were both such amazing stories, and we all learned so much, so thank you.
Yes.
As
From the Hoboken Library, happy Kwanzaa.
Yes, happy Kwanzaa. As always, you can head to hobokenlibrary.org to see our full list of calendar events and to get access to all of our services. So thank you so much, everyone.
Have a great day. Happy holidays.
Bye.